Hello everybody, it is November the 8th and we are going to do our do now. So the first thing we're going to ask is, what was the best part of your weekend? And two, we're going to go back and do a little review about variation. Look at the picture here on the right. Would you look at one similarity and one difference you can see among the snails pictured? So from this picture, find one thing that might be different and one thing that might be similar, but be specific, and please write that here in your discussion post. I'm going to show you where that is. So under today, under materials, here is today's do now. You would click there, there's your do now, and you would just write in this box and click the submit button. When you're done with that, we're going to come back to our slideshow and we're going to talk about today. The learning target for today is I will describe the process of natural selection and its effect on moths in England during the Industrial Revolution. So right here, we're tying into both science and what you're working on in social studies and history, which is the Industrial Revolution in England. I can define natural selection. I can identify a variation in the species. I can define and identify the adaptations of the moths. And I can explain how natural selection played out amongst the moth population. So to do that, we're going to go to the next slide. We're going to do a little review. What's natural selection? This is from one of our slides in our notebook, slide 12. What is natural selection? It is the process by which organisms are better suited for their environment and are more likely to survive and reproduce. So I want you to think as we're doing this, how is variation different from adaptation? Well, variation is just a slight difference, like maybe all of your siblings have straight hair and you have curly hair. That's a variation. But an adaptation is like when we talked about the frog needing to, over time, develop the toxin so he wasn't going to be swallowed. All right. So can one single organism experience natural selection? Why or why not? So let's turn and talk to our neighbor for a minute. You can pause the video to think about that. So what we're going to do next during class is work on a gizmo. And this is the peppered moth. So you're going to open the gizmo and open a second tab in Schoology. Open your My Apps. Okay. And you're going to also open another tab for your answer sheet. So we're going to open another tab for our answer sheet. We're going to come over here. We're going to click on our materials. And then we're going to click on our assignments. And then we're going to click on the peppered moth. And right here is the sheet, the peppered moth sheet. So you're going to click on that link. As it fills in, it tells you some more directions. So please read the directions and the highlighted areas. And when you're done, you will click on this and it will save it. Now, you're going to leave that tab open and you're going to open a second tab and come over to your My Apps. And so here's your My Apps. Here's your Launchpad. Mine's a little different than yours. But click on the Learning Gizmos. You're going to sign in with your username, okay, and your password, and go from there. And this may or may not skip. Sometimes it does. But we also have the tab with the codes. Your teacher will give you your code. And then we're going to look at the simulation. While we're doing it, we're going to follow the directions on the activity sheet and fill in the table as asked. All right. And then let me go back to our slides. And then, oops, no, we're not quite there. You're going to complete this during class and you're going to turn in that worksheet. And when everything is finished today, the last minute, we're going to answer this exit ticket. So you're going to come back to your Schoology webpage. You're going to come back to your course. And at the very top, click on materials. So here's your Socrative. So every teacher has a Socrative. I have mine, and then Miss Drew has hers. Your Socrative is located, no matter what class you're in, it's located at the top of the page, right here, and there's the room name. And you're going to answer the following question. Just answer A, B, C, or D. Researchers are studying lichens growing on trees in a forest ecosystem. This looks pretty similar to a beginning ticket. At the beginning of the study, the researchers identified 12 species in the forest. Later, a forest fire happened in the study area. the researchers returned to the area and found only 6 lichen species. Which inference is best supported from the researchers' observation? A. Most lichen species are unaffected by forest fires. B. The biodiversity in forests increase after a fire. C. Certain lichen species are better adapted to survive forest fires than others. Or D. Forest fires will permanently remove certain species from the ecosystem. A, B, C, or D, and click on Socrative. All right, have a great day, and we will see you all on Tuesday.